That was sketchy for a second.
Almost had a face reveal. What's up, everyone?
Here's your mic.
Oh, yeah. I just need the adapter that's plugged into the computer.
Oh, Jesus. How do I turn this on, though?
Hit function and then the volume down button.
Oh, you need this one? Is it this?
Yeah. Hello. My wife's getting set up on the computer so that we can listen to. Well, we can watch the comments.
Yeah.
Hello. Everyone hear me? Just got my mic set up. Hello.
Hello, is today again.
Testing. Yes, it is today again. I'll do my official
Yeah, go ahead.
evening time intro. Good evening. It's today again. Welcome back to Joseph's Reserves. I am Joseph, and I store 20% of my income in the form of rare coins and precious metals. Boo-doo-boo.
Barefoot Billy, he wants to know if he's first.
Is he? Was he? Who was first? Who was here first?
P. Rob 25.
P. Rob, congratulations, you are first.
Blue Virginia.
Well,
showed up.
Today we're going to be mostly doing a Q&A. I find that a lot of these questions y'all have send me on lots of tangents, so I didn't really plan anything in particular to talk about.
Kevin Hawthorne's in the house from Lakeland, Florida.
But I did set aside all of some silver I was going to show y'all, and today I did a video on gold, platinum, silver, palladium, and copper, so I just have kind of a little bit of everything spread out.
Amy just asked, what state are you in?
We are in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is really big, so we're in the Houston area of Texas. My daughter's just poking her head and saying some stuff, so my wife's got to take care of that. Michigan, hello. I can see some comments, but not all of them. Waller, Texas, all right. Virginia, Florida, very nice. Welcome, everyone, welcome. I'm just going to start pulling out some silver here. Willis, Texas, no way. We are very close, P-Rob.
We are very close. Oh, Robert McCall is in Waller. I think he just got coffee earlier this week.
Yeah, we just sent some coffee to Waller.
We did. Was that you, Robert? I think that was Robert. If I remember the name correctly on the invoice.
Can y'all hear my wife very well? When she's talking, can you hear? I'm holding the mic in front of my face, but I don't know if you can hear what she's saying.
If not, it's totally fine.
Yeah, if you can't hear, that's fine. Whenever she has something to say, we'll just move the mic over to her. Does anyone else have a box like this? I've actually seen another channel with one, but this is actually a box from my wife's grandfather's watch that we inherited. It was a pocket watch with a little pocket knife. I find that it's the perfect size for like these little
bits,
I guess, tubes, and even these like can fit really well stacked up this way.
Robert said that he did taste the coffee and it tastes great.
Oh, good.
From Georgia in the chat. Oh, we got the pin of death.
Pinwheel of death
going on? Came back.
Oh. Well, let's see. What are y'all wanting to talk about tonight? I've got
Axe Stacks is in the chat and he says,
what up, Axe?
We used a couple cigar boxes. That one is nice. We were wondering what it was.
Oh, cigar box. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Those there's a lot of people that that store all their stuff in cigar boxes. They're just boxes. Really nice, well-made boxes.
Yeah.
I don't smoke cigars, but I feel like if I had some of those boxes, I would definitely use them. Yeah, this is just from an old watch that I think was a gift for my wife's grandfather's retirement.
Yeah, from
Um,
the company that he worked at for like a million years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another box I have is this one.
Oh.
This is a individual graded coin holder. It holds an NGC slab, and the one coin that I really want to put in there is graded by PCGS.
Oh.
So, yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, it's a little awkward. Let's see.
You're having a hard time with one.
I am.
It's showing.
I want to put this coin in there, but it doesn't completely fit right.
Mm.
It's a nice little display, though.
Yeah. Little kickstand. We got a question.
Yes.
Can J.M. Papa says, can we see that Spanish coin you have? Oh, you were literally holding
Oh,
it.
I literally just pulled it up. Yeah, here, I'll show it even better. I'll show it better. Yes, this 8 reales or reals. This is nicknamed the Pieces of Eight, or an even more like numismatic name. Some people call it the Pillars dollar. So this was actually the basis of the U.S. dollar in the Coinage Act of 1792. And yeah, this one was from 1737. I almost want to say it was probably in some shipwreck, not verified. However, there was corrosion on it that was removed, and it is in beautiful condition for likely being in some corroded state. So I do really enjoy this coin. I've been wanting an 8 reales for quite some time. If you look in the red book, the XF grades show a premium of around $750. Usually details will knock it down about to 70% or 60%. So for this, yeah, they were asking. No, this the coin show asked 550 for it, and I think I paid 525.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Amy Pepliski says, do you live in that old silo on your logo?
That would be awesome.
We have
No,
not lived in a silo before.
we have not lived in a silo before. We've lived in various other things:
Yes.
an RV, a tent, a car. But now 5 acres, and we might build a silo because now we have some goats and chickens, and eventually going to get some pigs and all kinds of stuff. We just got some baby quails, some quail chicks,
And
and yeah, some chicken chicks, about 70 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to need a pretty big spot to store all of our feed here soon. But that's all according to plan. We're planning on farming some eggs and, of course, chickens, meat, the goat meat, goat milk, and pigs eventually. So we got big plans, and we're going to be doing it all.
Yes. P Rob 25 says, would you get pandas? Question mark. Or stick to generic. I like the way they look, but eagles and maples are popular.
Yeah, eagles and maples are definitely the most popular. I think what is interesting is that uh, China stopped exporting silver and gold. So it's possible that they could have demand later. However, I feel like stackers, although they are very anti-dollar, they're also very patriotic. Um, a lot of stackers really like American history, and that's kind of just coin collecting in general. If there's a historic American design, people, especially Americans, will generally gravitate towards that. So because of that, stackers in general are a little bit anti-China. Um, another part of that is stackers like the standard units, the 1 ounce. That's why a lot of people don't like the 90% junk silver or any other world coins, because it adds a whole layer of math that's not necessarily included with, just 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 10 ounce. The new pandas, I think as of 2016, they went to 30 grams instead of 31 grams. And typically you'd be buying a 30 gram for the same price as a 31 or a 1 troy ounce round. So that's where the premium ends up. I mean, it's minuscule. 1 gram ends up being $2 to $3, but that's a pretty big significance if you're negotiating a $3 premium versus a $4 premium. So keep that in mind if you are going to start stacking pandas. Definitely pay attention to if you're buying the 1 ounce ones or the 30-gram ones. Again, like, I think it could mean something more in the future that China stopped exporting their precious metals, but I don't know how much weight that really holds.
All right. We've got Barefoot Billy. Would love your thoughts on new stacker goal with liquidity in mind, or surface stack, as you would say. 100 ounces of silver in rounds and 1 ounces of gold in 10th ounce coins or rounds.
Just my input on that goal specifically. How do I feel about that? I think that is a fantastic goal. However, I think a 100-to-1 ratio for your personal stack, of course, it's going to be very dependent on your personal risk tolerance and volatility preferences, right? 100 ounces in silver would be somewhere about $72 to $7,300. A 1 ounce in gold, that's the 4,600 wherever spot is at the moment. That ends up being like a 2-to-1 in value, which means you're sitting at 66% silver, 33% gold. That's a pretty aggressive portfolio, and what I mean by that is it's a high risk to high reward portfolio. Which, if that's what you're going for, you nailed it. That would be great. But that's just at current GSRs, right? So I would say there's all kinds of online like risk tolerance analysis or quizzes you could do online. Find out if you're more an even base guy, if you're more aggressive in your investments, or if you're more conservative in your investments. I'd say if you're more conservative, lean a little heavier, possibly even more than 50% to gold. If you're more on the aggressive side, then you go even heavier on silver. Balanced, I'd say, would be anywhere between like 45 to 65, leaning either way. Anywhere in between the 45 to 55. Right around the 50% even split.
Gaddy, with lots of underscores, said, "Good evening, Joseph. Quick question: what percent of spot price would you not recommend selling at? Question mark.
Recommend selling at?
Not.
It entirely depends on what you're selling, and what you bought it for, right? Like, I mean, if you bought something at double spot, I wouldn't recommend selling it at spot, right? So it depends on the exact item. I think the question you're asking is junk silver. Junk silver, typically people buy it at spot. So what I think is an important question here is, what is the percentage that people regularly see on like regular bullion when we're comparing it percentage wise, right? It gets confusing when people are talking about both percentages and dollars. So, for example, when I first started buying, silver was around $25, and it was $15 over for an American Eagle. Eventually, that premium came down, and what was normal about 1 year ago, before everything started going crazy, was Eagles were about $5 over. Right now, Eagles are 12. But the thing is, if you look at the percentage, even when silver was $35, let's say, and you're paying $5 over, that's 1/7, which is 14% over, right, for an American Eagle. If someone was offering you $2 or $3 back a spot, that's 10% under. So that spread becomes 24% spread, and that's on a very highly liquid item that'd be very easy for the coin shop to flip quickly. That means the spread should be very narrow. So what's going on today is that's shifted upward, right? So the premium's high, the buyback is higher if we look at it percentage wise. So people are still buying Eagles back at $5 back, right? But that's at 70, which is quick math, 5 divided by 75. That's less than 10%. Was
15.
no
15.
less than 10%. $5, 5 divided by 75.
Yeah, goes 5 into 75. That's 1.
So it's 1/15th.
Yeah.
1/15th is like 6%.
There's your calculator.
Oh, I even have a calculator, guys. Here, look at this.
Bro, I don't know. I'm on comment duty, dude. I'm not doing math today. That's next week.
So the buyback for Eagles is 6% under, right? But if we do the premiums, let's say we're just at $75 spot, because if we're not there, we're going to be there any minute. Let's see, cleared 12 divided by that 75. We're at $16, right? So that's a 24% spread, right? What we're seeing right now in junk silver is that people are able to buy them at spot or even significantly under spot. And then a lot of shops are buying it back at like 65 to 70% of spot. So that's typically a 30% spread, which is really not much more than Eagles, right? And again, Eagles are a very quick turnaround product. So that's where the high demand will close that gap a lot. So when we're looking at it in percentage-wise, even a 30% spread is not bad for silver. I hope I answered your question.
Me too.
If I ever skip over questions, just ask it again. We'll get back to it.
Axstack says, do you have any shipwreck pieces?
So I don't have a shipwreck piece per se, but I did just buy this coin here. I guess it's actually a generic round. You can see the date. Let's see. Let's zoom in.
Zoom.
You can see the date on it is March 1622, and right here is Atocha. Atocha is a very famous shipwreck in numismatics. They were traveling, I think it was from Spain to Mexico. No, the other way around. From Mexico to Spain. So this ship actually crashed on the coast of Florida, and it had like thousands of Spanish cob dollars, and this is a design of that was on the cob dollars, the Spanish cob 8 reales, and it says right here, this is an Atocha cob. It's 3.9 silver. It's an 8 reales designed by Dan Carr. Daniel Carr was a U.S. Mint engraver that worked for the Denver Mint. And he did a whole bunch of designs that are in coins that you know today. So just you could look him up. He did all kinds of stuff. But after he retired from engraving for the U.S., he actually opened up his own mint, and he designed and minted this product here. It actually includes trace amounts of silver from that shipwreck. So pretty awesome. It's probably pieces of silver that are verified to be from that shipwreck, but not legible or not anything someone would want to collect. So he melted it into these coins, and they're just a tribute. This one is 26 grams. So the cobs were originally anywhere between 18 to 28 grams, and that's what he did with these pieces as well.
That's cool. Gaddy with a whole bunch of underscores. She was the comment, or that person was the comment before you were rambling on.
Oh yeah.
And they said, "Thank you, Joseph. The one thing that sucks is the fact that you get taxed on profit, but you get taxed when buying the bullion as well. So at the end of the day, the government's making free money off bullion."
Yes.
And then a few people said, oh, J.M. Papa says, lately I've been consistently been able to buy American Silver Eagles at 3 to 4 over spot.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And then Amy says, bought Eagles today, $5 over spot.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, that means, so basically, the way that spread is kind of determined is through volatility, right? So a local coin shop will be selling whatever they're selling at a rate above whatever they can buy it at from their wholesaler, right? So imagine if I was the coin shop and I sold all of my Eagles, and I know someone's going to want Eagles, I have to buy it from a wholesaler or wait for someone to come in. They might not come in and sell Eagles, especially if they're in high demand like that. So I would have to buy it from a wholesaler and then mark it up from there. The same goes for the opposite case. Imagine if you're selling these eagles, I have to assume that I'm going to be selling it to my wholesaler. A lot of the time when people are selling certain products, the client that are wanting to come in and buy are not wanting to buy that specific thing, so it's bought at a rate that would have to be dumped off at the wholesaler. So imagine if I was assuming I was selling them all and I gave you an extremely great rate because I assumed I could sell the eagles, but then you know that, so you come in with 12,000 eagles.
Oh, Lord.
There's no way I'm going to be able to sell that many in a quick enough way to guarantee that spot price isn't going to go beneath a point where I don't make profit.
Yeah.
So that's where it's entirely volatility. The wholesalers are basing it off of how big the movements are throughout the day. So if silver drops $2, they're not going to sell something for $2 under spot or $2 over spot. Or I guess they're not going to be able to sell it for $2 over spot because they're going to lose profit if there's a $2 move.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I might have been talking backwards at some point, but
that's okay. We all
yeah.
get what you're saying. All right, and then Blanco E25, he was asking.
Oh, I love the 20 peso.
Fractional Mexican gold.
So this might be exclusive to my coin shop, but the coin shop I go to, they sell all of their fractional, all of gold. So anything that's not anything that was circulated, or even like these Mexico ones that were like commemorative, they're the restrikes, not technically circulated, but of a circulated design, not a clean troy ounce. They sell all of that at 3% over. They have for years, and then they buy it currently at 94% under. So that's a 9% premium or a spread, 9% spread. And the only way to get more efficient than that is to get 1 ounce products. And again, gold is a much closer spread than silver is because gold doesn't have that as much volatility, right? So that 9% spread, the only way to beat that at my shop or the shop I go to is through 1 ounce products. I love all of the fractional world coin stuff. I love like Mexican sovereigns, the 20 francs, American clearly. I think they're just such an amazing way to get fractional gold at a really, really cheap price.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then JM Papa says, what are those 4 coins that you have stacked in front of the 2 silver eagle tubes? Seen them in some of your videos.
These are some of my favorite coins. These are Scottsdale 5-ounce buttons. They're 5 ounces, and I just love that they're a poured or cast, chunky silver. This and my 100-gram bar.
Blanco just responded and said, thank you, Joseph. I appreciate your input on this. My shop buys back Mexican gold at 90%.
Oh, okay. Very nice. So that might change the efficiency of it, but depending on what they sell it at, possibly not as much. These are my favorites right now. I love being able to like hold and play with my silver, especially like a big chunky one.
You can have that as a pocket coin.
Yeah, it's my pocket coin on Wednesday. I just really like it. I'm trying to find a tube that will hold these. I know On Fire Guy has an oversized tube for a capsule. I'm just a little nervous to pull the trigger. I mean, it's only $5, but I'm a little nervous to pull the trigger on it because I want to measure it a bunch of times and make sure. I think the diameter is 52 millimeters. I know it'll fit in there, but I want to stack 20 of them to account for 100 ounces. That's going to be one of my goals, as well as 10 of these to get to a kilo in 100 grams.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, I really like these ones. They're cool.
They're more for like your jean pockets, not your like pocket in your shirt.
Yeah, so a lot of the times I put my pocket coin in my shirt pocket. That way I can pull it out real quick. But these I put, when I was carrying it around, it was in my pants pocket. Mm-hmm. I actually had this and different pocket coins that day. I like to pocket stack.
Yeah.
I take pocket stacks, and it's usually like comparable coins. Like the other day I had, they're not over here, but I have like a pocket stack that I take around occasionally that are all copper coins from around the world, between 1790s and like the early 1830s. I really like that. They're the large cents or half pennies or the half sols from France. Those are all the same size copper coin, and they all bought relatively the same amount of silver. So even across the world, there was a set copper to silver ratio. And I just think it's super cool that like we were all making the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like also nerd out because the kids at church, they
Right.
like the teens.
On Wednesdays, I go to help the youth services at my church, and they often
kids.
there's a few kids that are coin collectors, and I want to push them into all kinds of stuff and make sure they're staying interested. And there's actually one that keeps telling me to come to the coin collecting club in our area. It's kind of in our area. It's like an hour and a half away.
Yeah, depending on traffic.
He keeps telling me to come by. I'm like, oh, I really want to, but I haven't yet. It's every month.
Anywho, let's see. We got Robert McCall says a lot of chatter about Black Monday in quotes. Thoughts? Question mark.
Black Monday. I'm not sure what Black Monday is. If you could elaborate.
Is it like Black Friday, but
It's like Cyber Monday, right?
Oh yeah.
That was.
Are we talking about like Easter, since Easter's like tomorrow?
Is Black Monday this upcoming Monday?
Maybe that has to do with like the market crashing or something. I don't know. We need more.
We need more context. Let me know what market crash is it supposed to be this Monday.
Blue Virginia earlier says, what about the new Silver Eagle with a military mark on it, and then comma Army?
I know what you're talking about. Those privy marks, those are interesting. I would suggest, so.
You need water?
Yeah, that would help.
I got some water.
So here's the thing about collectible bullion.
Mouth noises. He's just hydrating.
So, if you're newly getting into stacking, my beginner advice would be focus on low premium, get generics, things that can sell easily, 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 10 ounce, get tubes of 1 ounce, get generic, or get standard bullion recognizable stuff, regular eagles, regular maples, regular stuff. Then once you get to a point where your stack is at least covering some emergency expenses, or basically if you're not going to be in a position where something could happen and you have to sell all of it. Because that happens. We had to do that.
We did? We did.
Yeah, at one point we did.
Yeah, we did that.
We were a little overzealous. We went and we're buying way more than we should have been. We were not budgeting right. Stacking has taught us a lot about how to manage finances. My wife just found this on my desk. Pretty cool coin. Yeah, go ahead, clean it. I got everything around my filming area, everything that's not within this frame and this frame is like real messy.
You know what? We should just do a tour of your space. No, actually, because there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. Anyway, so once you get to a point where your stack is like the next stage in your stack, right? You don't need that extra liquidity. You don't need if something happens, I'm going to sell all of it. I hope you understand what I mean by that. But once you get to that point, you can start looking at the more collectible stuff. I call it semi-numismatic, right? And that would be things that have a little bit more premium than like the extra stuff, right? If it has more premium than an eagle, eagles are supposed to be like the highest premium standard bullion, right? So if it has more premium than an eagle, that's where you should be second guessing, right? Because typically,
Tom said you don't like Gucci silver.
Yeah, Gucci silver. It's name brand silver. It's the high premium stuff just because they can sell it to you that way, right? It's got the extra thing. It's got the low mintage. Someone only made 2,000 of them.
Just found a pair of scissors I've been looking for.
Oh, nice. The thing is that I almost call, or I've heard people call it semi-numismatic. Those silvers, when you go to sell it at a coin shop, they are not going to respect that premium that you bought it at. Another thing is, like, let's say you want the new 2026 Eagle and they're selling at $15 over, right? Okay, what happens when 2027 comes out? It's just another regular Eagle.
Yeah.
Right? So you can wait till the next year and buy the 2026 one at the regular Eagle price. There's no need for someone who.
It's like Pokemon. You gotta catch them all. But
Yeah,
like,
you gotta catch them all.
Don't.
No. So when it comes to the privy marks, to answer your actual question, when it comes to the privy marks, I would not start there. I wouldn't even, if you're an intermediate stacker, I would not be there. If you are collecting every American product, or you just absolutely love, if you're collecting military stuff, if you're collecting all Eagles,
100%.
if it fits in your collection, absolutely. And there's a very big difference between collection and stack. Stack is just the weight for volume, so you can sell it and it can be liquid. High liquidity stuff is stacking. If you're collecting, absolutely collect anything you like. The premiums on those do get pretty intense because not only are they a specific low mintage with the extra mark, they're also proofs, and they also mean something to a lot of people. So I don't think they're a bad coin per se, but I do think that they are not for everyone. Again, I really hope my long explanation didn't rail off from the question.
Ooh, excuse me. We find lots of squirrels and ducks and
There's
whatnot along the way.
the thing is, my answer isn't direct
Well,
because there's so much more to it than just good or bad.
Another pair of scissors.
Oh,
I've been
I'm hiding all the scissors.
You're hiding all the scissors. We've been blaming it on the kids. Oh my!
I didn't even know I was using scissors.
It's okay. Sorry, I've been looking. We have like 6 pairs of scissors. I went out and bought more scissors because I thought the kids were stealing my scissors, and Joseph had them in his office. I'm sure there's more in here. I'm gonna keep cleaning and finding them.
There might be.
Because here's like 2 steak knives.
The
There's one right
Pokemon
here.
analogy, yes.
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 That's real.
The thing is, some Pokemon cards are really, really, really valuable.
Yeah.
And actually, if Axe is Axe still in here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, go over to Axe.
Hit me in the comments. But so Axe, you recently did a video. I unfortunately haven't sat down and watched it. Did you watch it?
I briefly
Okay, she got you a view.
I got a view.
But
for sure.
okay, Axe, what an awesome concept. He compared one of the original Pokemon cards that his mom has to silver.
Yeah.
However, I do want to. I have a rebuttal.
What?
Go onto the PCGS website and you can look at how a specific coin has trended, right? So you can look at a graded version of a specific coin. I challenge you to compare. I haven't done this yet, so this is your homework. Go compare a 1916D Mercury dime from when whatever the price was when that Pokemon card released. I think it was 96. 98.
He's in the chat right now. So
I know he's in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go look at what the price of that 1916D Mercury dime was in any specific grade. I'll say it's based on percentage, right? So just say like a very fine example. Yeah, that can go in there. Choose a very fine example. Go to the PCGS price history. And if you don't know this, PCGS, you can actually go onto their price history. You can look up any coin in any grade, and it'll tell you what the price. It'll pull up a whole chart for you, and you can compare. I've even compared the Flying Eagle cent. I've compared it in a fine 12 grade versus an MS63. And could you guess that the fine 12 grade performed better over time? Not more value, but when people originally would have bought it, they would have made more money today than if they had bought an MS63 and sold it today. And that's a lot more common than you think. The ones that are in the more affordable range typically perform better than the higher elite ones that are way above because, okay, you got this $2 million coin. The next time it goes for auction is at $2,001,000. That's such a small increase. But you get a $300 coin. Next time it goes to auction, it goes for $325. That's a dramatic increase.
Yeah.
Right. So,
hey, Lucky Strike.
That's interesting. Chat. It's interesting. Go check that out if you haven't or if you never knew that.
100%.
All right. Next question.
We went on a tangent, but that's okay. Robert was referring to the Black Monday as a market crash.
But my question still is: it's supposed to be this Monday? Is that what people are saying? I haven't heard anything about it. I would not put too much weight on it, and I don't know. The thing is, even if the market crashes in America, let's say like the Kitco by the LBMA or like the Comex is saying silver's $12. You think Shanghai is really gonna say silver's $12, or like
No.
other parts in the world are really gonna be like, oh, there's this massive crash? I guess like
They would be embarrassed.
you know, like, oh, the American dollar is like collapsing, or I don't even know really what would happen in a crash if people. Does that mean that the American dollar is like really really strong?
Bro, I don't know.
I really don't know anything about the like how the market actually works and actually prices things.
It's a scam.
Because the thing is, it's all priced in the dollar, and the dollar's fake,
Yeah.
right? So if you try to look up like the definition of the dollar, the DXY, that's how they evaluate the strength of the dollar. It's literally the number of dollars printed compared to I think it's like six other fiat currencies on what they printed. So if we're comparing fiat to fiat, it's all literally fake. There's no, and it's just the amount that we printed is what the DXY takes into consideration. So, okay, we go to war and we didn't print any more money yet, but now the dollar looks stronger and metals are hit. Makes no sense. Is every other country printing money because we're at a war? Not necessarily.
I ain't trying
But
to get banned or shadow whatever.
shadow banned.
Shadow banned.
Yeah, this is a
for,
little slightly too conspiracy theorist. But
facts.
the thing is, it's literally just it's online. It's true. It's
Yeah.
how it's evaluated. So if everything's based on the dollar, right?
Yeah. So
And the dollar means nothing.
Camo Rosso says if the inherent value of silver stayed the same, but it costs less dollars to get, then the value of the dollar had to increase.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. But the thing is, if it's the whole stock market, the whole market crashes, that's usually like a bad thing for the dollar too, right? I mean, that was the whole Great Depression. I feel like I'm just not well versed enough in my history of the market.
Especially when, yeah. Okay, JM Papa earlier says, Joseph, not sure if you're aware, but there is a great subreddit where individual buyers and sellers make transactions very close to spot. I've been able to save a lot on premiums by using that source. And then he also said, I have no affiliation because I don't own Reddit, laughing emoji, but thought I'd let you know. Uses a feedback system so you can buy from established sellers, which is pretty cool. Oh.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's awesome. Any peer-to-peer market is definitely the best way to do it.
100%. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Aaron Simpson said, so happy to stumble on your live tonight. Started following recently. Love the frequency of videos and content. Oh, thanks, Aaron.
Awesome. Welcome.
And then Lucky Strike says, I'm late. That's okay. We still love you. Hello, Joseph, wifey, and all. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to everybody.
Happy Easter, everyone. It's not quite Easter yet, but that's okay.
We're working on it.
It's Easter.
Yeah.
Real quick, my wife brought out or moved
Casper
over these commemorative $50. I haven't shown any of these. I haven't shown any of these on my channel yet, but I actually got this one. My boss got it for me for my birthday. Look at this. Any Texas people
Joseph almost
look at? Oh my
pooped
goodness.
himself. Wait,
I was my what was it? My flabber was gasted.
Your flabber was gasted.
I was so excited to get this. It was for my birthday a couple months ago. Beautiful coin. I love the Texas commemorative coin.
Please wait to reconnect. Is that just the computer?
It might just be the computer. I don't know. We're gonna keep on keeping on.
Because
But yeah, so I love the Texas commemorative is where we live now, and for a time in my life I was living in California. I was stationed out there in the military, so kind of like the California one too.
We're refugees from there.
Anyway, there's part of my
pretty cool
commemorative $50 collection. It'd be really cool to get the whole thing. Oh, here's some more. The OG.
Yes.
I've got a 92.
It was Casper in your comments about you being his personal financial advisor.
I think that was him.
He said, "My personal financial advisor." Happy Easter.
I am not a financial advisor. I feel weird saying it in all the videos, but I know someone's gonna be out there saying, "Oh, you gave me financial advice," and I don't know.
Yeah. Rock Z69 said Happy Holy Saturday. JM Papa said Happy Holy Saturday, everybody.
Yes, Happy Holy Saturday. I guess that's the appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what we celebrate Eve for everything.
Eve.
So it's like birthday Eve. It's like the day before your birthday.
Like New Year's Eve.
Like New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but we always go like birthday Eve, like we're hyping it up for our kids.
And then everyone follows suit and says it over and over again. So today is Easter Eve.
Easter Eve, but Easter Eve sounds.
It sounds weird.
It sounds weird because like. I don't know, we're supposed to be remembering what Jesus did and dying on the cross, and like in history he's still dead. So like Easter Eve seems a lot more solemn than like Easter Eve.
Yeah. we're not trying to hype up, like he's still dead. But like we know what's coming.
Anyway though.
Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, it's Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and Easter Sunday.
Okay.
Yes. And I think it's even isn't it supposed to be Holy Week? So it'd be Holy Monday, Holy Tuesday, Holy Wednesday. I think it's was it Mondry? Mondry Thursday?
Mondry?
Mondry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that
like
one.
Laundry, but
like laundry.
that's how I kept remembering it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, but anyway, Happy Holy Saturday. Let me see.
Foot. No, we're right here.
Oh.
We just
My wife's got the
situation.
questions.
Let's see. I'm keep making mouth noises. That's really annoying. Okay, Camo Rosso says those classic commemorative halves are works of art.
Yes, I love the commemorative halves.
Hang Stocks is in the house. He says love the halves. Lucky Strike says I don't see a lot of fractional silver in shops around here, all just online. Well, Lucky is in Canada, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah. He's the one in Canada. That is interesting. My shop has had a bunch of fractional silver for some time. So I'm not quite sure. The thing is that it is not only is it high premium because a lot of shops sell them that way, but they're also high premium because they're not that common, right? However, also I just heard on Friday. Friday's when I heard it. I'm not sure when this news was coming out, but I guess even the U.S. Mint is considering making fractional silver. I don't know if it'd be fractional silver eagles, but it might be some sort of fractional silver with a different design, which would be really awesome. I personally think that the U.S. Mint should be making more bigger formats. Like a lot of mints, like the Royal Canadian Mint, makes like the 5-ounce, 10-ounce bars. I really like the 5-ounce quarters. I don't have any, but I like the idea. I think poor execution as far as what they did with the 5-ounce size, but the idea that the U.S. Mint can make other size than 1 ounce when it comes to silver, I think is absolutely awesome. Overall, I really, really like fractional silver. I think it's a really good way for people who are on a little bit of a tighter budget to be getting into silver. And especially if they're buying one or two, maybe a quarter or a tenth, maybe a half, those can be found pretty close to the regular generic or even close to a Eagle premium. So I don't think that the premium on them is really all that high if you can find them in person.
Hydrate.
But at the same time, I'm only exposed to a couple shops in my area.
Yes. Cam Rosso, I'm gonna keep butchering that. I heard that too. They should totally do that since Britain has the 1/10 ounce silver Britannias.
Yes, I got a lot of those.
Rock Z says, yeah, I'm hoping they make fractional buffaloes. I'd start a new tube. I'm not
fractional buffaloes.
Silver. Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh man, I want a fractional gold buffalo.
Oh, Northern Lumens is in the chat, and he saw some fractional silver at his Manchester, New Hampshire show yesterday. Wasn't shopping for any, so I didn't ask about prices.
Okay.
And then
I wonder how the coin show. Or you said it was at a shop or at a show?
At a show yesterday.
I wonder how the coin show deals with premiums for that, because a lot of the times the coin show falls in between their like a regular coin shop and online premiums. Coin shops are pretty low because a lot of that stuff they're able to source easily, and they can often do really good deals. And then clearly like online dealers kind of set the premiums. But when it comes to coin shows, they're kind of somewhere in between. They barely beat the online stuff, and they want to make it a little bit more hyped up than.
True, but most of the vendors at the shows are coin show.
Yeah, they're
like,
also
they're
also
shops.
coin shops. Yeah, and then the other thing is they have competition right next to them, right?
Yeah.
So if there's someone that comes in, they're selling eagles at spot. Like everyone else is not going to sell eagles until that guy's out of eagles.
Exactly.
So
Northern
there's
Lumen
also
says
that.
big regional shows. I did get a generic 1 ounce round for $73.
73. Okay, what was the spot price then? Probably pretty close. That
this was
sounds like at
yesterday.
spot or it was yesterday.
This is yesterday.
It'd be like basically at spot.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
That's a good deal.
Rock Z says he wants to watch the show, but he also wants to go riding his motorcycle. Go ride your motorcycle. You can watch this later.
Yeah, this is gonna be live. This gets posted when we're done,
Yeah.
so you can go to my channel, find the lives, and you can watch it then.
Depending where you are, it's the sun's about to go down on the coconut tree, so
Yeah, take advantage of the moment now.
Yeah, we'll be
Definitely.
here.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Northern Lumen said that spot was $73.15.
Oh wow. So under spot, slightly under spot.
That's a pretty dang good deal.
I mean, yeah.
We're
also,
planning on being on live until about 9:30, Texas time.
Texas time. Is that? I always get confused with Mountain and Central.
We're central.
We're Central.
But Texas.
Texas time.
Yeah, I like that better.
Because we in Texas.
Because we in Texas. Aaron Simpson says, I absolutely love fractional. Mercury dimes are my favorite. I have no clue why. Because they're just rad.
Because Mercury dimes are beautiful.
Yeah. Because there's...
Oh, you know what? You like Mercury dimes? I'll pull this out.
Oh, he's going to pull it out.
Hey, whoa.
He's going to pull out the coin.
Yes, a coin.
Here. Let me hold this. Oh, Casper. Oh, what's that? Oh, I want to see.
Let's zoom in and get some good detail. Oh, yeah.
Oh, she pretty.
This is one of my favorites. Absolutely. So any of the fractional pure gold from the U.S. Mint is like just beautiful.
So pretty.
Just beautiful coins.
Yo,
Yeah.
Aaron said.
And I know they made another one for 2026. This is the 2016 version. I'm probably going to get the 2026 one as well. Just one of my favorite designs. Then this design also is making me really want to get a palladium eagle. Any of y'all have a palladium eagle?
If you do, send us an email. We want to see it.
Ooh, yeah, I want to see your eagle.
At josephsreserves@gmail.com.
Yes.
It is his email. Yes. Yes, Northern Lumens. Jesus is God the Father. If you can't afford it, gold all the way. Yes.
Yeah.
Rocks, we're all saying to drive safe and have fun.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe. Enjoy your time, but make sure you're safe.
Jesus is God the Father 1 is somebody in the chat. I thought we were just talking about God. Jesus is God the Father 1. What would you say to someone who goes straight from gold every time without trading or taking any ratio advantage at all?
Straight for gold?
Someone who goes straight for gold every time without trading or taking any ratio advantage at all.
If you can buy gold with dollars, that's the best way to do it. Absolutely the best way. You don't need to buy silver and trade it into gold. However, if you're budget limited, it could benefit you more to buy the silver, wait for the silver to go up, and then buy it.
Yeah.
But if you can buy the gold right now, just do that. Yeah.
But we're also not financial advisors.
I'm not financial advisors. Don't take my advice as you must do that.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, let's say you're looking at buying this buffalo, right? Let's just say it's $4,700 today. Technically, you could buy $4,000 worth of silver, wait a few months or years or decade, and wait until you could sell this for whatever it would cost for this. The thing is, you never know if you're going to actually get to that point. You never know if that's a guaranteed. The whole market could flip and gold might shoot up to $12,000, with leaving silver behind at like $300. right? So we never know. I don't even know what ratio that would be that I just said out loud, but we never know what the ratio is going to look like at any given future point. Just like we never know what spot's going to look like. If we knew that, we would all buy at the exact perfect time. We'd all buy exactly what we want. There'd be really no such thing as premium if we all knew what spot price is going to go, right? So, what's important to realize is, let's say you buy a 5 ounce round, and right now the GSR is like 64, 65. I think 64. My Gmail is josephsreserves@gmail.com.
Go.
So this is technically
Go.
spot to spot, 5/65.
Go.
Let's just make it easy math. If the GSR was 50 to 1, this would be the same spot price as a tenth of an ounce of gold. But you will not be able to just trade, a tenth directly with this. Most likely, whoever is going to be doing that trade would want to make a little bit extra. They're going to buy this at under spot, and they're going to be selling this at over spot, not just because it's graded or whatever, but the 10th ounce gold. And that's just how it works as far as a coin shop or even any other person wanting to be incentivized to do a trade. If you are thinking about trading silver into gold, then your peer-to-peer trade, they will also be in the mindset of trading silver to gold. They won't be trying to sell gold into silver, right? So you're going to be hard. It's going to be hard to find a peer-to-peer that's willing to do a trade exactly what you're trying to do, exactly at the right time. That's one of the main reasons going to a coin shop is ideal. They're always buying. They're always. I mean, I heard some shops were not. If you go to a shop and they're not always buying, I don't understand. The shops I were going to, no one stopped buying any particular item. Where do I sell? Well, I sell to my local coin shop if I ever need to. I'm in the Houston area, so there's a bunch of coin shops around here. But overall, the question of buying gold versus buying silver to trade into gold. If you're buying silver to trade into gold, you pay the premium when you buy it. You sell it for a premium, and then you buy the gold at a premium. There's 3 premiums you got to overcome within that trade. Mm-hmm. So it's not always it's definitely not the most efficient way to do it, turning your dollars into gold. The most efficient way to turn your dollars into gold would be just buying the gold directly. If you don't have enough dollars, then buying the silver to turn into gold is an option.
Yeah. Northern Lumen says, I'm just chipping away at both metals when I have cash, even if it's a gram at a time. Robert McCall also said, as someone on a small budget, I'm trying to stack both with small, consistent pickups. Currently 80-20. Got started on gold late.
Okay. 80-20 is not bad. I don't know if you heard my spiel about conservative versus aggressive portfolios. Typically, a standard aggressive portfolio would be 70-30.